store. I have a friend who's sick and I'm going to drop something off to her really quickly. So if it's okay, let me turn my video off and so I'm not a distraction, but I'm listening in.
Of course. Of course.
The link though, honey, in your story, you don't even show people how to do it.
And there's.
What do you mean? I'm trying to figure it out.
They're knowing that they just message if they want to get on, and if they're not in the groups, they're on the, they gotta get in the groups, don't they? So what else is happening, Fran? Welcome everybody. Anyway, we are live now on YouTube. Welcome Anita. Welcome Fran. What's going on, bro? What else is going on? How? So you just got the COVID shot, so that must have been freaking.
Yeah, I mean it's
all right now.
I see how it operates. Now that I went through it, I think everybody should take it. Yeah. But you know, it's just you're just gonna be out for a day after you take it. So you're not gonna grow an extra limb or anything. I mean, it's just like a flu shot. I never taken flu shots before, but my wife always takes flu shots and she's like, it's the same as a flu shot. They'll put it in your system. You might feel weird for a day and then you're good. So yeah.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha.
Yeah. But no, I mean, but in the last 2 months, man, this has been overwhelmed mentally with all that's been going on.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up.
What's been going on? So,
yeah.
Like tell everything. I know.
Well, I mean, tell us what you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't tell us like you were butt naked down the street. And,
no, not that.
Not that. Right? Yeah.
No, I mean it's like overwhelmed as far as learning all the new things that I've been learning through your guys' team, learning things that I got to do for my day job, my 6-figure earning job. There's a lot going on, all the changes there. Learning what I need to do with taxes this year, which was extremely overwhelming.
Oh yeah.
But got through it. I got the plan. Got it. You know, and then going through like some like physical ailments, like this for some reason, like allergy season this year just really knocked me out. Like physically, I was just all kind of clouded mentally. Yeah. It was really hard for me to take the action because I'm real sick of taking action and getting very little to no result because I'm not knowing what I'm doing. So it almost like slowed down in my tracks. And then this morning I had an epiphany. I was watching after going through your 5-day, video series, and then I went through Ray Higdon's 4-day video series, like just the freebie he had similar to yours. I noticed that what's her name from Group Convert went through her video series, and then I'm rereading this book. Yeah. I'm like, well, damn. I'm starting to see how the pieces fit, how the structure fits to sell online. I want to do the selling. I don't want to do the consuming or the buying. I want to be the one creating the content. I want to do the selling, right? Mm-hmm. There's 2 types of people out there. Either you're creating content or you're consuming content and all your money's being given away, right? So I want to be the one making the movies, just like you guys, right? But I'm starting to see like how, the process more clearly and how effective it is on doing all the things in a certain sequence or order to get sales. So, I'm going to do my own video series, not as intensive as you guys, but I'm going to redo my 3-step video series. I'm going to see if I can just make it a little bit better. I'm going to promote digital profit in that towards the end. And then I'm going to use a Turbo TRX freebies as the bonus gifts throughout the series as well, while following the sequence from Expert Secrets. So I'm going to just give it a shot, go from there and
100%
see if I can get bigger impact. So I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. It sounds good. I know. We know that the that OFA challenge will definitely help you out in terms of launching your own product. That's what I believe that is the next step.
Do they give them the 30-day
book?
Yeah.
So when the full book, the photos.com book. Yeah.
No, if your business went under.
Yeah, if your business went under, how could you get back up and running and make 6 figures in 100 days, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. The OFA like Fran, like you're at the level right now where
Yeah, so okay, so let's take this piece by piece.
what are you talking about?
Because he talked about a lot going in there. But
Just cut me
I
off.
mean,
Just
no,
cut me
go
off.
ahead, go ahead.
No, sorry. My wife just cut me off. What I'm saying, Fran, is like you've already created your 3-step wealth training. And even though you may think it's not perfect, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? And it's more now, well, it's a wealth training, right? A 3-step wealth training education. And there's an offer in there, obviously, to get them started in one of the businesses. The fact is, if people aren't biting on that bait, well, then then the problem is, because I know you created the training, maybe some people watched it, they clicked. No, I'm not sure if you made any sales from it. However, I think maybe you're attracting the wrong people in. So then we got to go back to your dream customer in terms of who you're attracting into your Facebook group. The OFA challenge, when that time comes around for you, you'll get a full kit delivered to your door with the workbook, new Facebook group, the 30 days book. This book is amazing, which Monica will talk about in a minute. But actually setting up your own, like that 3-step training is like a freebie or lead magnet. And then, you're selling your own product through a funnel to the next stage of your value ladder. And that's what we'll obviously talk more in depth when we do your free business strategy call coming up too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Like what I can say is, if you remember Ellen Dean, if you were on that one for the Explode Your Digital Downline, I don't know. He says, what do? You make offers, then you make better offers, then you make those better offers just more often, And yeah, a lot of the times, I mean, everything that Nick and I do isn't gold. We just have to do like a bunch of different offers, see what bites, what we think is awesome. Some people are like crickets, and then boom, eventually like we find something that connects with our audience. The sales message is on point. The feel, the vibe, the energy is totally in alignment and in sync. So there's so many pieces to this video series that you're gonna find that you can find frustrating, but that's the whole process. That's the whole like overview of how to make these offers like speak to your dream client. And often we can get stuck in like, oh, it's not working. No one's like reaching out to me. And it doesn't mean that piece itself isn't going to work or doesn't make sense or shouldn't belong. But then there's all these other pieces that we still have. It's a whole, like we always talk about the holistic view of your business and anything you're putting out there. If we just like throw something out there and hope it sticks, cross our fingers, and more than likely it's probably not going to stick. And even when we have done things that we literally put our heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears in, and nobody took it. Like I was like shattered. So like where we put like a lot of ourselves, it wasn't just like a one-day thing. It was like months of preparation to like finally lead up to this climax of zero climax. So like I totally hear you with taking action and like the no result, seeing that. That's just entrepreneurship. But success, failure is the same thing.
Yeah, but I need to take you back a step back, Fran, because you have had results.
Yeah.
But guess what? You're getting results in the things that you probably, not that you don't want to get results in, but you're rather having results over here, but you're getting results over here. You're like, I'm getting paid, but I'm not fulfilled. I'm not like happy with what's going on. Because I know you've been making money in the wealth space, but you are specifically, I know you're focusing on the health space, and maybe it hasn't been fast enough. You haven't got results, haven't got a team big enough yet, whatever. Whatever it is, right? And it's this like, well, you're getting results, but you're not getting the results that you're like craving or wanting, And
also, I think we also attach ourselves to success with like the actual sale and the money, which again, I'm telling you that the money doesn't come until all those little pieces are like in alignment. Talk to my dream customer. I got the sales message down. The look, the feel, the brand, everything is on point. It speaks to them. They're like, oh my gosh, give me more. Then boom, the sale is done. So if you only got A, B, C, and you're wondering why we haven't said the whole alphabet, Well, that's why, you only got the ABC, and we got to figure out then what you either got to change, or like, that works, that makes sense. Don't know why it's not. Well, why not? It might be the sales message, or verbiage and all that stuff. And yeah, maybe the dream customer or stuff like that. And again, I think we tie a lot of our success to just money, and that's a
Or to
very
rank.
frustrating place to be in. And when it's the hardest thing to do, but you do actually have to, like, it's like that weird, you have to find like a healthy relationship and understanding about money when you're an entrepreneur, because that's not the end all be all. Because if you're not happy or fulfilled or enjoying what you're doing, like, a lot of the times I would be doing this like for like I would do a lot of things like for free because I just love doing it. Now it's great that we can get paid and charge our worth and work with people that value us. That's freaking more amazing. But at the end of it, I know I'm putting out that energy, that's gonna come back in its own time. I like to think of like karma. Like, if I help people without any conditions, it's completely non-conditional. I don't expect anything in return. I'm literally just showing up to serve them. I know eventually some's gonna come my way. It could be monetary abundance, or it could be in another form. It could be gift giving, or it could be someone that's helping me in a time that I need it, that I'm like wackadoodle and don't see things clearly. So I think everything is like, it should be viewed holistically. And that's the part that a lot of people struggle with. I have a little bit, like, again, I always say sales is a spiritual practice to me. And a lot of people have never heard of that. Like, how is sales a spiritual practice to you, Monica? To me, again, it's like that exchange, everything is energy. Money is energy. I have an energy. So whatever energy I'm putting out there is what I'm going to attract. And in all levels, obviously, like, just the personality of the person. And on top of that, am I going to attract someone that sees my worth and will pay me my worth? So a lot of that, if we're trying to just get a sale, which we've all been there, we're just trying to land that sale and like have that win. That energy, again, is at that low vibrational frequency. So you got to raise that vibration. And again, a lot of it is cutting those ties with the conditions to make the sale with that person or with people in general. Once you step into that like vortex, that energy, as an entrepreneur, it becomes really fun, because you really then, I get like clients in my inbox all the time. Hey, I want to work with you. I don't even know who they are. I just showed up in a Facebook group and I dropped massive loads of value and like gave someone clarity. And now they're like, I want to know about your spiritual intuition. I'm going through something. You do healing? Oh my gosh, tell me about it. And, because that's the energy I put out there. No conditions, so it's a hard one. I get you.
Yeah.
And I know Nick can resonate as well, because Nick and I are very different when it comes to sales. I'm the yin, he's the yang. I'm like the Buddha, he's the badass. And we just view money like differently, and nothing's right or wrong. Yeah. It's just figuring out what works with you and you bringing yourself to that energetic space to attract all of these pieces to start lining up. Like you said, things are starting to make sense. You're starting to see why we told you a long time ago, like all these weird things. And now you're like, okay, I get it. This is the sequence.
Yeah. And Fran, like, we were up to like nearly midnight last night, and I'm putting together like a spreadsheet for all the coaching clients, you guys. And literally every product that we promote, sell, share with people, right? And like the monthly card, doing like the ROI stuff, the financial spreadsheet I was talking to you about. So I'm putting together so I can just give it to everyone, and they can just plug in what they've got so they can see their numbers. But there's over 50 products, different bits and pieces. But I want you to look at, and as I don't think, like, we're in love with Travel Boss. I don't think you're in love with Lifestyle CEO, because if you were in love with Lifestyle CEO, you would be talking about it more. But I don't see you, and maybe I'm wrong, but just from how I see you post and talk, you don't mention lifestyle CEO much. But you're more looking at the company you're wanting to build, right? But it's the brand, your brand, not the company. And I feel like you need to learn to fall in love with your own brand. And detach from the company and companies. From a long-term strategy. And you need to build, and I'm glad you're reading Expert Secrets again, because you need to build the tribe. You need to build your movement and manifesto and all that jazz, right? And I had all these companies. We had Travel Boss. Monica was always questioning me like, Nick, tell them again, Travel Boss, not the MLM business. I'm like, but we got on the top. We got on IMD. We're going to win this. Right. Yeah. And, it wasn't until the pandemic and we started getting paid and we had to pivot. That's when really Travel Boss launched that was June last year, end of May last year, nearly 12 months ago. That's when it really, I got into Travel Boss. Oh, Travel Boss was in me. Like, how you always know about the previous company we're all with. Hey, you got to get the company inside of you, right? Your brand now needs to get inside of you, right? And I believe that's where you're failing right now. But failure is not a bad thing. You're learning. When we have our kids coming, I'm going to you need to fail every day, right? Because I don't want you to succeed. Not that I don't want you to succeed, but you know what I'm saying, right? I want you to fail 20,000 times. So now you have 20,000 lessons that you can now teach to people, and then your success will come, right? So that's what I believe is holding you back.
And again, I can also say that Nick and we've gone through different brands. So we were Oz and Mex moments on a plane. I was moments with Monica. Nick was PT on a plane. We had so many names. And again, they were for a season, and then we finally found Travel Boss, and it was great. But then, we had kind of we still didn't cut the ties in terms of we still hadn't flown the coop yet from the house. We didn't feel 100% to get out there in the world and just talk about our business, our brand, because that is a massive leap. And that takes time to really feel confident. And we're all human beings. We're all thinking what is the world going to think of me? Oh my God, I don't want to be criticized. I don't want to be judged. What are they going to think? And then eventually though, it chips away at you enough. And it's apparent that you're not as happy as you could be, or you're not in alignment as you could be. For me, I was way more into the Travel Boss, and then also my own, spiritual business, intuitive business. And I can talk about those all day long. That's yin and yang. One's very fiery and business driven, and and then the other one's very connected and healing and spiritual. But yeah, and it had to take Nick, because he was a lot of the face of the company, and I can only do so much, and I'm actually an introvert. And Travel Boss is just very, I don't know. I needed Nick.
You said it. Travel Boss isn't just yang; it is yang. You have to put your own.
Yeah, well, I'm putting a lot in now. But yeah, Nick had to go through his own time. I think it was a good 2 years for him to catch up to that. Travel Boss should actually be the core, the
should
foundation.
Be the top.
It should be what we focus on first. Everything else is secondary, and we find out where it works within Travel Boss. But Travel Boss is the umbrella. That's what people see first and only see. And they really, unless they come into the world, they don't have a clue what all the names and products and businesses. You'll never hear it on Facebook, on anywhere. You'll see maybe in some old stuff, who knows, way back when, but within the last, I don't know, 2 years or so. We've never mentioned a single product or company name or anything except for Travel Boss, yet we're utilizing and piggybacking off of all of those businesses. So
yeah, and
it's in your own time.
Yeah, and Fran, I've been obviously since being in crypto and forex and investing. I've read, reading that Tony Robbins book, the Financial Playbook. Anyway, Warren Buffett mentions never get emotional in business.
Yeah, I read that too.
Right. But look
Yes.
how emotional we were in our previous network marketing company.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't agree
Well,
with that entirely.
hang on. I'm not saying.
Okay, keep going.
Well, hang on.
I'll wait.
I'm not saying you can't be emotional, but when it comes to, let's just say you can't get emotional with money. Let's just say that. Let's be more specific. Obviously, business. You know, one of the main reasons why we're all building a business is to create cash flow. So let's not get emotional with money, because when we get emotional with money, you know, we'll be pulled in multiple directions. Look how I was pulled in so many emotional directions with our previous network marketing company. You were too, I believe a lot of people were, and we were all trying to get to the next rank or trying to make the next income, the next residual
For like
income.
4 years.
Like, no, literally like 5. Oh, come on, 5 years. It was like 5. It was like 4.5, 5.
No,
Anyway,
I mean like with me,
Well,
I was kind of like almost done.
Monica was done before I was done.
It took him another 4 years.
I'm still believing in this. This is our fortune. This is our future. Right?
Yeah.
So, and I know and I feel in the network marketing company that you are building or wanting to make success in right now is that you are emotional in terms of when it comes to making money or rank, and sort of as a business as a whole, not like, you know what I'm saying, right? So first of all, you need to fall in love with your brand. And if you're not falling in love with your brand yet, you need to like, how can you fall in love with it today? Like, what do you need to do? What do you need to change? What do you need to alter? What do you need to, like, you need to make it the brand you are going to, like, you can't stop talking about, just like your network marketing business when you get started, right? The second one is don't get emotional with money. Don't get emotional with the rank, because now, Francisco, now that you do have your brand and you have the umbrella, you are not just marketing one company or one product. You are marketing at least 20 plus. I know what you've got under your belt. It's now that you need to find direction in which this clear pathway is for you. And we'll do that on your free business strategy. We'll help you do that.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about that. But today, I think the biggest thing you need to do is how can you, if you need to change the name, change the name. If you need to change who it serves, your brand, you need to change it today. Like, I would say that is the biggest thing you need to change. And you need to make, you know, that is when you can get in sync and in alignment with who you're serving, how it's going to fulfill you, and what you're selling. Because
so it's just identifying and really kind of looking at everything, and
there's an identity shift.
And it's identifying what, okay, I love this. Like for me, like I love the whole intuition. I'm never going to stop about intuition. So it can't be the intuition part.
Well,
love that.
let's talk. So Monica thought Trial Boss was a yang business. There wasn't any yin, or
there actually wasn't any
yang. Well, I'm yang and you're yin, so that's why. But I would say,
and so I actually kind of resented Travel Boss for a really long time because it required me to literally overexhaust myself and burn myself out because I was setting up all these systems. I was like, I'm doing all the back end stuff and nobody has a clue. Like all these funnels, everything.
I'm very lucky.
I'm doing it.
I'm very lucky.
No one has a clue. And I'm like, oh, and he's like, honey, I just joined another business. I need a funnel for that. I'm like, screw you, dude. Slow it down. Finish the last 10 that you wanted before you jump into something else, you know?
It's so crazy. It's like this week alone, and we're Tuesday, I've already joined 5 new affiliate programs for different areas of Travel Boss that I know that we can offer that's going to make us residual income. Like, I know I'm a bit addicted. I'm addicted. It's like, you can say, is it gambling? Is it the casino? Like, whatever it is. Like, I am going to make Travel Boss the best of the best and offer the best of the best. That can also serve our customer or our affiliates or business partners with the best of the best.
Yeah, so, I guess from his standpoint, and like I understand why he's so like excited to join all of this, is we understand like we are actually really comfortable in the wealth space, in the coaching space, in the health and fitness space, with his background and stuff and my healing. And then on top of that, the love and relationship, like I can talk about love and manifestation all day long. So we're a Travel Boss will eventually transition into more than just travel boss in terms of travel and business. You know, it's going to transition. We've done fitness challenges in the past, you know, and those went awesome. We're just going to leverage other platforms so that we don't have to really do them, but we can still share them, things like that. So he's like, oh my gosh, I could do that affiliate. And I'm like, okay, slow down now. One thing at a time.
Yeah.
One thing at a time. But
Fran, I know you're wanting, like, when we do a health launch or a health something with Trial Boss, you'll see how we do it, and you'll be able to apply what we have done to your business.
We did our squat challenge.
You did our squat challenge.
Yeah.
It was 2019.
That was like
it was
whipped together, and we didn't really know what we were doing.
Yeah,
but it actually turned out great.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so we just like did it once,
and a little bit of money, helped a lot of people. Some people lost weight.
And people know like Nick as that like motivational kind of personal trainer already from his past. So, you know. But
Fran, right now, and hi, g'day, Marnita, welcome back. The industries that is going to be prime in today's time, right now is the wealth industry, anything to do with wealth, and digital products. Digital products, wealth and digital products.
Coaching is always going to be there.
Yeah, mentorship. I'm not saying a health product or a health program isn't going. I reckon that's going to be successful right now. But I'm looking at like the lowest overhead, the simplicity of, like, you think about a physical product getting shipped out, and there's always and definitely now there's inventory issues or there's shipment issues and constrictions, right? How can I get my product out to every single person and it being pandemic proof? And that would literally be a digital product that you guys create or a digital product that you affiliate for. And I would definitely say cryptocurrency, Forex, like how can someone have the shortest education cycle and have the fastest success cycle? Like, we just tell someone to put their money over here and now they're making money. And they're like, oh my God, I've never made money in a business before.
Most people think,
boom.
Yeah, most people don't get into that because they think they got to be on the computer and looking at a spreadsheet and up at 2 a.m, you know, and like, how am I going to do that? I'm not comfortable with that. Boom, we just solved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just solved that problem that a lot of people are like, how am I supposed to do that?
Yeah. So, you know, I feel like it's like Gary Vee says, if you sell with the trends, you're gonna make a lot of money if you go with the trends, right? So, and this goes for anyone. This is, you know, if you go with the trends, you'll be able to sell literally any product or service because of, it's like if we were to sell travel right now, guys, it was like, hey, come join my travel membership. We're all going traveling next month. I swear, like maybe one person would buy. No one would buy. No one would just
a few, but it wouldn't be like the hotcakes selling, you know?
Yeah, it's not gonna, and there's a time for every product. There's a season. It's travel's coming. I reckon like health and fitness, it's been there, but it hasn't like exploded. And I think it's
usually
coming.
Like around the new year, like that's the time that you always see all of those challenges come out.
Yeah, and even like we're in the summer now, so something might pop.
And then another time is right before the summer because everybody fell off over the new year. So then in springtime, they're all like, oh gosh, I gotta get summer body ready. So fitness, there's seasons for everything. And so when you have a lifestyle business, you know kind of when to pivot and when to again, it's not having all your eggs in one basket and going the whole year focusing on one aspect that is not selling. Like if everyone focused on their travel business last year, probably they're not around anymore. They didn't have anything else to share with the world. So we literally were travel boss and we have not talked about travel yet. Our business is still thriving. Riddle me that. Doesn't make sense, but it makes a lot of sense because we pivoted. We're just talking and focusing on what is working right now, what is a trend, and that's making money from home because whatever, you know, people are still having to quarantine. People are still having, you know, all this stuff around the world. They're still doing it a freaking over a year later, later.
I know we go into the auto trading a lot because it just works and it's proven. But it's like, how can someone that's lost their job have little or no overhead with starting a business, pretty much not have to do any type of selling or recruiting, and really just put their money in a position and they will make money. They'll make money every single month. They're going to invest anyway. Like, we can give people a massive confidence boost, and Sean, that education cycle can give them the fastest success cycle with auto trading in cryptocurrency and in the foreign exchange markets. Like, and going back to like last year, Fran, like, you know, we all joined a business and it made us just about $40,000 in a short period of time. But we're no longer a part of that business. It pivoted, it changed, it rebranded.
It's like half.
It's like half the same, right? And you know, now it's called Digital Profit. But it meant, like, I was talking about it with Monica yesterday. I'm like, man, that business, that company was amazing. We got the first time we got paid in the network marketing industry this much. It was crazy. But if I got emotion, like, I'm like trying to take
You kind of slightly did.
I got a little bit of emotion.
He gets emotional because he's the one in the trenches making the sales, like making it happen.
Like, it's normal. It's normal getting emotional.
It's normal, right? So I knew, but I could see the perspective, like the outside looking in, like, babe, if they're in a transition right now is not the time to focus on it, even though it's made us money. They're trying to work their things out. Let's let it out. Let's let them make their transition, their merge, whatever it is. They're going blah, blah, blah. Things are crumbling. Leaders are leaving, all these things. People are confused. What's happening?
Yeah.
Okay, like, we need to move our focus. Thankfully, we have, like, again, like, we whip out the whole freaking tool shed and figure out, okay, this is what we need to do.
But that's when we pivoted to coaching, back to our coaching. And back to our own product, our own digital service, right? Now that we fully profit from.
But now it's also more apparent, and I've, shared this with Nick. Sometimes it doesn't like to listen to me, but you don't want to move away entirely from your own, like, business, like the Travel Boss. Like, you can't just, like, drop it on its butt and then, like, focus on something else for 6 months to a year and then, like, expect to go back to it and then it picks up. The fire dies down. So now I'm like, it's apparent that we need to focus on Travel Boss consistently. Yes, it doesn't have to be like full blown to the max, but we have to always keep up with it, have to always nurture it, have to always,
Water the garden.
Mm-hmm. And be able to then decide where to put some other focus, but never let the ball drop in the Travel Boss, our own business, because again, we're in control of Travel Boss. That's the only business we're in control of. All the other ones we're not. We're just hoping that they stick around and they are transparent and honest and tell us what's going on. And a lot of the times they won't tell you, because obviously, why are they going to shoot themselves in the foot? They want people to stick around as long as they can until things get leaked.
Yeah.
And then the cat's out of the bag. So that's a thing that.
Yeah. And it's like, so this goes for you, Manita, too, because I know we're developing your brand right now. And what I mentioned before, like, the number one thing I would say for you guys to do today, and definitely you, Francisco, is what do you need to do today to fall in love with your brand? What do you need to do today to fall in love with your brand? Because if you can make your brand the most sexiest thing alive, and that's going to excite you every single day to go out and share that with people, what do you need to do that? What changes do you need to make today? And these changes are going to happen over time, right? But you can make some initial changes today that's going to, like, just change the whole energy and the feel and the look of your brand, right? And then number two, don't get emotional about money, okay? And I would say, Fran, you have everything going for you, man. I think you are just like in this paradigm. There's this half of you that wants to be here, and there's this other half that thinks that that you should be here, but it's not connecting. And it's like you listen to your company that you love and adore, and then you're listening to us as your coaches. And again, this has happened to all of our Travel Boss coaching clients. including I believe Marnita as well, where like you're listening over here, but we're telling you this over here, and it's just like it's not like connecting. It's not, they're like fighting against each other, right? And
when really you just have to do what's best for you and take what resonates from both sides. There's never like a condition. Like
there's no condition.
It's your life. It's your business. You do exactly what you're doing with your business. If you're happy, if it fulfills you, it's in alignment, it feels good, go with that.
Mm-hmm.
So we are one way.
Yeah.
People are another way, and there's a whole variation in every color in between.
Yeah.
So it's just about finding what fits you and your brand and your business.
Yeah.
Using your intuition to make those decisions.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah. I'm going to give you guys all a spreadsheet. I'll be sending it out today in the Facebook group, coaching group. And that spreadsheet is going to help you figure out what is paying you the most.
Yeah.
What's going to pay you the most, what's giving you the largest ROI, the monthly cost, the commissions that you receive, the annual costs, everything, the purpose of this MLM product, affiliate product, your digital product, whatever product it is, service. And that's going to help you guys know your numbers so you can see what is actually making you money and what is not. And maybe where you should reevaluate where you're spending your time.
And of course, there's also going to be affiliate products that you might not want to sell, but you need them for your business. So identifying those as well and knowing where you're at in business, and if you need this tool, is it going to help you? Because we all have expenses. We all have to, like, you're either going to pay for a tool and a system to get set up so that you can get your time and energy back. So that costs money. Regardless if you sell it or not, you have to identify if you need it, it's the right time, or that's something down the road when your business scales, when it starts to get bigger. Or again, it's something that works within your business. You also use it, and you'd be able to share it, and decide if that's also a product though that you should spend a lot of time in, a lot of energy in to get that ROI. Because again, Nick has like a bajillion affiliates, and again, I'm the perspective person. I always try to put it into perspective, like, Nick, but is that like, couldn't you be putting all your energy over here? Like, this makes like 50% commission. Why are you going for 10%? What are you doing, bro? And then he's like, oh, great.
Like we did the sales that we made from the Explode Your Digital Downline Challenge. We added it all up, and we promoted, I believe there was 17 affiliate products, but only like 4 of them stood out and made us serious money. The other 13 made a sale here or there, but didn't make us much at all. So now that gives us.
But it could also be we either freaking exhausted everybody and everyone was like overwhelmed, and there's like this product and that product. So it could be like towards the end. So we don't know. Or it could be also your market tells you what they like.
Yeah, we got feedback. We got feedback.
Like, oh, I like that. Oh, I didn't need to think 2 seconds. I'm swiping. So that's why we have to create these spreadsheets and continuously, like, we're getting better at it finally. To really identify like where's the ROI, like which one's giving us money and which one's like taking our time, and we think it's awesome, but it might not be as awesome as we thought. So all of those things.
So lots going on. But
yeah,
anything else, Fran? We spoke a lot then.
No, it's good. I think for me it's easy to know what actually making me money now is cash effects, but but no, it's just like you said, it's a learning curve, and getting all the things you're learning, not only knowing how to do all those things and using the tools, but getting them in alignment in the right sequence, and the right alphabets, and kind of mastering each alphabet to get the result you want. And it's funny you say, like, you're right, you can't be addicted to money. You can't be emotional to money. I actually read that in the Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, and it helps you make better decisions when it comes to investment and playing with money. And when I look at my day job, I'm not emotional anything regardless of that, but I can make a lot of money. But why is it that that's something I really want to do? I'm not making any money. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
it's like gotta sit back and, you know, think about, like you said, Monica, how am I going to serve others when I'm trying to promote the business or doing videos, or, you know, because it's almost like I can get on a call with my day job, close a $5,000 sale, not think anything of it, and then go back on my laptop. Why can't I get one product sold? And I'm not even thinking about the $5,000 sale that I just did.
Yeah. For sure.
It's like it's like, who cares about that $5,000 sale? I need to sell this stuff. But
it's psychology.
Interesting.
Fran, it's like you just said that CashFX is paying you, right? It's like the businesses that you currently have are telling you where to focus, but you're not listening, or you're not wanting to listen, right? And I don't know, you need to like write down, like, because for example, CashFX, you can make a ton of money. You can hit big ranks. You can get paid massive residual plus the auto trading. It's a phenomenal business, right? But it's like, you gotta maybe write down this today on paper. Like, why are you wanting to build the business that you're wanting to build, that specific MLM company, right? Write down the reasons.
I think it's always been, because at the end of the day, all I've ever wanted to do was travel. I like being healthy. I like looking good. I like working out. I like being at my peak performance, you know, as far as my body's concerned, and I like to experience the world. I'm like actually be a little bit of a daredevil. Scuba diving. I haven't done skydiving yet. Exploring caves, all those things that I did in Mexico. That's kind of like what I mean, that's how I envision my life. It's like, money is, like you said, it's not the thing that's going to fulfill you in a sense, because I learned that the hard way. It's what kind of lifestyle do you want to live?
Sure.
Hence the word lifestyle CEO. But, you know, but I do understand investment is a key. You need a cash flow. You know, you need higher assets, no liabilities. I feel like CashFX is a strong asset. And I want to get to a point where, like, I'm looking at like your 5-day video series, or looking at Ray Higdon's 5 days. Like, when the dots start to connect a little bit more than it was before, I know that eventually you can get to a point where you can just sell anything using these sequences. Once you know how to hit it, and, you know, once you hit the nail on the head, it's like you just go in there and structure it in a way where you can pretty much offer anything once you get really good at it. And it's just, but it is a long sequence. It's a long, you know. And I also realized I joined that group that I told you about, where people from Secret are just building online. I watched some of their videos, you know, which is very contradictory to what the Secret training is all about right now. Like, I know there's people that just want to build online, and then there's these new WV people that want to stick. I mean, there's a lot of contradiction happening. I know that the people that have been in Secret for a while are looking at that like, I can see it based on the two groups. But I like my point, like, if you want to build online and get people in your funnel, person also mentioned that you need like $500 to $600 minimum a month on ads to have a chance, you know. So like understanding the rules, the perspective of things, you know, the rules of the game, you know, and then learning how to make that benefit me, you know, benefit you. I don't think I fully understand all the rules that I can manipulate, you know, to my advantage.
Sure.
And the more I learn, the more I'm like, okay, and then I can start piecing things together and play the game to win, because I know all that's involved in the, you know, in the game. So
I wanted to add something to that, Francisco. I know it's sometimes confusing when you're at a crossroads, and it's like you got to make a decision, right? Like you got to make a decision. So I'm talking to myself too, because I'm, at a point where even I'd already made up my mind. There's I was doing with a friend of mine, we're doing insurance, and but I was just doing it on the side as things came about, just always keeping my license going. And I'd already been approached from my cousin about the type of insurance that Jeffrey presented the other day, because she does that. And then someone else I know does it. And I just kept thinking, okay, well, I'm doing this. I have this license with this particular vendor with my friend, but we're not really, she's kind of very inconsistent with just even how she leads her team. And I'm not necessarily going after it because I'm not passionate about it. But I'm like, I studied hard. I kept the license, but I think I'm going to really just stop working with her. And do you know, like 2 days ago, I haven't seen her in at least 3 months. 2 days ago, she drops by and drops off something for me, like something that I won like 6 months ago that she just finally, like, and I'm thinking to myself, like, that's just a sign, like, okay. And I just started feeling emotional, like, okay, how am I going to tell her that I don't want to work with her anymore?
Yeah.
Right. And started feeling that guilt and all that. And just going back to, for me right now, what's motivating me is the feeling of how I feel when I'm doing something. And when you were talking about figuring out falling in love with your brand, like I'm still, like I know you guys said we're gonna change my name eventually, and probably several times until I really get a name that sticks. But the feeling that I'm going after is a feeling that I experienced on Friday with this couple who my husband and I shared the trading platform with, and her partner, with the skills that he learned, made $700 in 1 hour. Right. And she was getting all emotional, like, all we've been doing is just trading and learning from you guys and from your husband. And it just made me feel so warm and fuzzy. She's like, thank you for sharing it, because had you not said anything to us, we wouldn't have known. And of course, I'm like, okay, we're in public. I don't want to cry. All right, just give me a hug. And I did the whole quick like hug thing to kind of like break up. But I realized I was running away from that feeling, but that's really the feeling I need to invoke and know that that's the feeling I want to have frequently throughout the day, where people are sending me messages about how I've helped their lives, right? So figuring out how to do all these different things and have these multiple buckets, how to get them in line with what I believe, and then having that bless people. Because at the end of the day, we were a blessing to them, right? So having that feeling be motivating, because I never want anyone to feel like a number.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I am right now. And I'm looking forward to our call, because I feel like my head is still all over the place, and I really need that streamlining and input to where to focus.
We got it.
So I'm going after the feeling and being okay to say, you know what, with my friend, like, yeah, I still have my license. I want to keep my license, but I don't know that I necessarily want to work with you.
Yeah.
And that's hard, because now you have a relationship and our children are friends and all of that. But I realized that I don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. And I have to be okay with saying, I don't want to do that.
Yes. Saying no when you want to say no, and then saying yes when you want to say yes, makes life freaking amazing. You have healthy boundaries, you have healthy standards for yourself. That doesn't mean you're a bad person when you can tell someone no. It does not mean you're a bad person.
Yeah.
You should really talk about this, because Nick has struggled a lot with people pleasing and saying yes so many times, when he just is like, oh my God, why did I just say yes? I'm like, I don't know why you just said yes. But you're going to have to deal with it. And because I am the opposite. I don't care, because like, I know I'm a good person. That does not mean you have to empty your bucket into everybody's life.
Yeah.
That is not what coaching is saving every single person on the planet. It is guiding and coaching the people that want to also freaking like participate in their own rescue as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome that you had that shift just in the last like two days. You had that breakthrough, because that is a massive one. That's awesome. And yeah, it doesn't mean you burn a bridge at all. You're just being true and authentic to yourself. And if, again, this is why we always say we're not creating a conditional business. If you're done doing business with us, like, okay, we can't talk. Sorry, I'm never going to help you ever again in your life. Because we have been probably those people in the past. Not anymore, though, because it was done to us so many times. Oh, you guys going to bill online and do whatever? Okay, well, you guys go and do that, but let me know if you need help or whatever when it doesn't work out. Like, that happened to us all the time, and we just had to decide to make decisions for ourselves and not feel guilty. That guilt is real.
Yeah.
But once you can, so that's kind of
Spot on money though.
Yeah, definitely.
Good. That's good. It's good
Yay.
stuff. I'm glad.
Yeah.
And
also, I told you all that I talked to my sponsor about just where I wanted to spend my energy, because I felt that I was being drained and depleted with going after sales and helping people, and someone trying to order, and then, oh, this is out, that's out. And it's like, I mean, really, like, it's frustrating. And spend over an hour on Monday with customer service, and then spoke to customer service for another 15 minutes on Wednesday. They were supposed to call me back on Friday and never called me back. I have someone who signed up as a rep, ordered their starter kit, and still haven't received it. It's been 30 plus days. So I lost one rep because of that. And this other rep is just hanging on, for dear life, but with nothing. So how are you supposed to be excited about promoting a product when you signed up over a month ago and you don't even have product? So sweetie, 1 second, you wear your unicorn sneakers right now. So I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait till you guys get your act together. I'm gonna keep ordering the products and dealing with the delays on my end, but it's just draining.
It's all about the pivot and recognizing a red flag and then taking action on the red flag, and so that you don't lose momentum in your business and you don't drain yourself. There's nothing wrong with switching your focus when your freaking boat's about to sink. If your boat's about to sink, then we got to figure out how to get the water out, or you got to get out of the boat. one of the two. Figure out if you want to decide to like save this freaking boat and take the freaking water out, and it's still freaking piling in, the water's still flooding, and you're barely even catching up to it. And again, I don't know, you could be doing that for a while. You could still maybe live by doing that, or just get out of the boat and swim shore. I don't know. And then come back and get another boat or whatever. Or it didn't work. Like, it wasn't meant to be. I don't know. But yeah, that's great that you were able to pinpoint that.
Yeah. And then the challenge of, oh, you started something, oh, that didn't work out. Like, you don't want to always be the one who's not finishing something. But I think for me in this instance is that I am not finishing. I'm just putting that on hold.
Yeah.
Of the energy that it produces when I'm dealing with the issues. And of course, as business owners, you deal with issues all the time, right? But see, those issues that I'm dealing with are, like you were talking about, they're out of my control.
Yeah.
So that's where it's frustrating. So just coming to that realization that, you know what, definitely being able to do something that I have more control over is best. And then, because I really do, and truly grateful for the products, because they are helping my family, like, no joke. I don't think I'll ever stop purchasing their products. But I do have to just realize that I don't like the energy and how I feel when I'm dealing with the issues.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They hit that on the nail. That was good. Yeah. Because I agree. the products are great. My shoulder feels great for the first time in years. I'm lifting harder and heavier with the recovery and stuff like that. But I've actually, because of what I've heard because of my own experiences on shipping delays, I kind of stopped promoting it. And then it goes into, like you said, now I'm in conflict. What am I actually trying to build in a business? And what am I actually focused on? And then I kind of lost. I guess I kind of lost. But usually when I'm focused on something, I'm laser focused on it. It's only one thing. I got kind of like tunnel vision when it comes to whatever it is I'm focusing. And lately it's just been like, okay, what is it that I'm focused on? And I think, I believe that I love the products. I love the travel. It still saves people a lot of money, but people aren't traveling now. And there's a huge delay in shipping, and there's like, where's the money where do I need to make money?
You can always relaunch. You can always relaunch
Yeah.
when the time is right. Like when all
Yeah.
the ducks in a row, you can always relaunch.
Yeah.
But right now you're focused.
You can always relaunch, or maybe sell it in the back end, or and lead with something that is making people money now.
Lead with something else.
I think right now.
That's where my mind.
But then
is.
you get into products that I think are phenomenal and are getting me results, better than anything else, but require VPN, right? And then how I'm trying to see, like, okay, what's the risk factor promoting it to massive amounts of people? What could be the negative aspect of that? So
I wouldn't think of the negative. I wouldn't think of the negative, because when you think about how many billions of people around the world, it may not be your market, may not be your back door, right? It may be people who are already across the pond, who are already used to using VPN and dealing with all that stuff, or, like, just think of how it can work. I mean, for me, I haven't done any promotion because I'm trying to make sure I launch properly once Nick and Monica and I figure out what's what for me, because I like to do something the right way the first time. And I know for you guys it's a little different. It's almost like just put something out there. But for me, it's just because I'm
both. So I totally get you. Yeah. I'm definitely a little of both. I have to do it because, like, this guy can't stop, won't stop. So I have to catch up. I have to keep up with him. But I totally get you. I like doing things also that make sense. And, like, if I do it right the first time, I don't have to freaking
deal with it.
My energy. And yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Good stuff. And Fran, good stuff. Like, and think about this: when our old network marketing company told us, if you can't build in your backyard, how do you expect to build internationally? And I think it's disgustingly wrong. I always went against it. I'm like, no, I can build in Germany over than building in Wisconsin if I want to.
We've always had a bigger
It's the
team
internet,
internationally,
right?
In our backyard.
The VPN issue, Fran. If you want it to be an issue, it will be. I understand where you're coming from 100%. If you don't feel comfortable, then I would recommend focusing on another wealth business like Turbo TRX, for example, that doesn't require a VPN, right? Exactly. Going through everything that we've been through, like I was building World Ventures because of the story I kept telling myself, which was to prove people wrong, prove my family wrong. I'm going to go to the top.
You did not want to let that go.
Have all the success, and I'm going to show every person out there that said no to me and put me down and call me a scammer or whatever they call me. I'm going to show them all wrong, right? I'm going to show them up. And maybe Fran and anyone else who came that's from the emotional aspect. Maybe I stopped telling myself that story when we pivoted last year and built Beyond, right? And it was a completely different energy. But maybe there's still people that have come over from WV into that new company that you're now in, Fran, and are still telling yourself that same story because of those pain points you've had in the past. And all I would say is, once you've released them and you've forgiven them and you've forgiven those people that maybe have hurt you and given you pain, for something that you thought you were doing right and justice for and serving people and helping people, the sooner that you'll be able to like let go and have a so much more fulfilled business and fulfilled dream customers and business partners, and you'll be able to make a whole lot more income because of the flow and the energy that it brings. And you haven't got this stagnant old girlfriend, right, or old boyfriend. And Monica has a good story about that.
I came up with your MLM is like your ex-boyfriend. He might not be a bad guy, but he's not good for you.
In some aspects,
in some aspects, an ex is an ex for a reason, and you probably shouldn't go back to it. But it's like the breakups are always so like draining and long. Some people can cut relationships off, but most of the world can't do that. Like you got like all this emotional, stuff you got to work through, and you take them back, you break up, you make up, you break up, you make up. Like 2-3 years later, you're still in the same freaking toxic cycle. I kind of view it similar to that, where this might not be a toxic relationship with that business at all. However, does it serve you? Is the same question. Is it serving you still? And I know Nick had a lot of emotion around it because Nick and I met in this company. So he was like, almost like, how can I let go of this company when I met my wife? Like, no, I can't do that. Like, no, I'm going to be a martyr and I'm going to die in this company. And I'm like, babe, we're still together. We're married and I'm not going anywhere.
I will die with this company even if it never pays me.
And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, you can love the company. You can respect the company. You can be grateful for the company. Again, I believe, and I'm just like good at seeing like everything is for a reason in the season. So what's the reason and when is the season and when do you allow it to like go into the next season? And you allowed it to go into the next season, and taking things into the new year and taking things into your future when you should have been done with it. Like all of us do that. So it's like a completely human experience to like feel guilty when something has given you so much, like you experienced so much, you learned and grew so much. However, for me, I hit my glass ceiling way farther. Like I was like, okay, I have so much personal development that like every time I hear a new person speak on stage, I have heard that 1 trillion times and it does nothing for me. That's for like the masses. That's for the person that just got in. Give me something else. Give me some substance. Give me some depth. Give me the real. And I was craving that. I was craving that next level. And what, again, a lot of MLM companies, it's for the masses. So once you hit your glass ceiling, you're going to feel like guilty. Like there's one point where all of us were like in love with the company. Like there's nothing you could say. There was nothing that you could like talk bad about it. And then over time, it's kind of like, are you getting used to that company or you heard it all the time? And they're telling you to do the same thing that isn't working. And we heard, where's that thing?
I'm going to
Oh,
you want to say it?
Nah,
let's say it together. We'll close the virtual coffee call with this. Let's say it. Let's say it together. You say it.
Just do it.
I'll hold it up. It's a bottle cap.
You're better at speaking.
No, baby, you good, girl.
Go ahead, baby.
No, baby, say it.
Oh, fine.
So, ready? Hear this, guys. He does hard this day.
Yeah, it's so simple, but it's like, oh, really?
We'll close it off.
We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. I'm like, dang. So if you look at if you like just reflect on the past, like if I reflect on my own past, I was using the same way of thinking to problem solve something that I created it with the thinking that I had. That's never going to work. I'm never going to solve that problem. That's just the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So you gotta think different.
Insanity.
You gotta hit that next level.
Yeah, insanity was my middle name for 5 years.
Yeah, you were like, it didn't make any sense. But I was like, he's gonna eventually hit his head. So he's the Capricorn. He's like ramming his head. He wants to get through this freaking wall. He's got horns. He can do it. He's fully capable of it. But then there's also a door like 1 centimeter over here that he can go through. And I'm like, I'm gonna go through the door. You go ahead, smash your head in. I know you're gonna get through the door anyways.
Yeah.
But your head's gonna hurt. So, you know,
Gotcha.
it's just about using a different level of thinking that now you have. And you're in kind of like these two worlds where it's almost maybe, I don't know, if you feel like you have one foot in this world and one foot in this world, and you're like doing the splits, and you're like literally coming to the crossroads though, like Marnie is saying, of making a decision before you split your pants and you do the split. So it's not really about like picking a side in a sense of like a literal side, but it's about making a decision. Whatever that decision is for you and running with it if it feels right. So it's not about like, okay, we're never going to talk to these people again. I'm going over here.
Yeah.
But it's about like what's best for me, my company, my family, my lifestyle. And not feeling guilty.
Remove the expectations that you may have for yourself. Release the maybe the comparisons that maybe you've compared yourself to.
Yeah. A lot of it is
I know
forgiveness.
a lot of that. And I know, like, I don't know, man, it's just the love of the old company with the old leaders and all that is real deep and emotional. And now bringing that into a new company that they merged with and still trying to make it work.
Yeah.
It's a hard one to let go, but I believe it's really necessary for you to grow. And
we've only ever soared once we decided to do what was best for us and not listen to the top of the top of the top. And again, we like, they're not bad people. Nobody's a bad person. Like, I am happy for those that are happy in this company, happy for you if you're over here. If you want to come and do a little dance and be in a both, great. Like, everyone should be entitled to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
No one's a property. No one is owned by anyone. Yet sometimes we kind of feel like we're gonna disappoint and upset certain people for making a decision that's just best for us.
Yeah.
So for me, I just released that guilt of like, this is best for me and my family. Like, I'm not gonna feel bad for that. No one's paying my bills. No one's sending me checks. I'm working for this, so I'm gonna make things happen for my family because nobody's sending me checks. You know, her hard-earned efforts are sending us the checks.
Yeah. You guys,
totally feel ya.
You both here have kids. We haven't got kids yet. They're coming. So like, I would just imagine like all the things you gotta do on top of doing your business and paying bills and all that. So yeah, guys, think about what we spoke about today. We appreciate you both hopping on Virtual Coffee. And it was good sesh, eh? This is live on YouTube. So if you want to go back to it, you can. Yeah. And yeah, guys, have an awesome Tuesday.
Yay.
All right, Money, we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Take care, everyone.
All right, guys. Have a good day, guys.
Alrighty.
See ya. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.